All right, let's unpack this. We're about to dive deep into some genuinely provocative ideas today. These come straight from a thought leader who consistently makes waves, Michael Saylor. If you followed the intersecting worlds of finance and technology, you know he's not one to shy away from audacious, often contrarian viewpoints. Saylor firmly believes that unprecedented personal and business growth in this era hinges on mastering two monumental intertwined forces, what he calls digital intelligence and digital capital. We're going to explore his bold claims and the very specific, often unconventional strategies he advocates, drawing directly from his insights shared in the BTC Sessions YouTube video. And look, this isn't just theory, it's presented as a playbook designed for action.
Yeah, and what's truly compelling about Saylor's approach isn't merely his understanding of these trends, but his aggressive stance on harnessing them. Really harnessing them in ways that fundamentally challenge a lot of our conventional wisdom. We'll be connecting the dots between artificial intelligence, Bitcoin, and even the strategic deployment of, well, debt to multiply wealth. Our mission in this deep dive is to dissect these concepts, examine the vivid examples he provides, and really try to get to the core of the why behind his claims. Our aim is to help you, our listener, gain a clearer perspective on navigating today's economic and technological landscape. Maybe see it through a new lens.
So let's jump right into Saylor's foundational belief. He sees digital intelligence and digital capital as the twin engines of all future growth. These two pillars are, in his view, the most significant trends defining our current decade. Let's begin with the first pillar, what he terms digital intelligence, which, in everyday language we understand as AI.
Exactly. And when Saylor speaks about digital intelligence, he's not just talking about being aware of AI. Not at all. He means you must actively focus on it, strive to master it, figure out how to integrate it into your workflow, and crucially shed any fear surrounding it. He emphasizes that embracing AI isn't really an option for progress anymore. It's a non-negotiable imperative. The world is evolving at lightning speed, and, well, to remain static is to fall behind.
And he backs this up with some pretty sharp critiques of how many people are still working today. He recounts meeting bright young professionals, perhaps bank analysts, who tell him, I'm working incredibly hard, running complex spreadsheets, doing all these manual tasks. And Saylor's immediate question is, okay, but are you using AI to do that work? And their frequent response is, no.
Right. And that's the disconnect he highlights.
Yeah, and this is where his personal workflow becomes a powerful illustration. He describes his method of tackling any problem, immediately putting it into deep research mode, with AI grinding through the information 20 times and then grinding the AI's output against itself, constantly refining and enhancing the results.
And it's not just about marginal gains in efficiency either. Saylor makes some truly staggering claims about the productivity leaps he experiences. He asserts that AI can accomplish tasks that would typically require, 20 people a month to
It
complete.
did just 10 minutes for him.
Yeah. Or even more remarkably, he speaks of getting 200 man-years of work done in 3 hours.
200 man-years in 3 hours.
It's a mind-bending leap in scale.
Yeah.
It really is. And what this illustrates and why it's so critical for you is his personal conviction. Saylor would be horrified and terrified if he wasn't leveraging AI in his daily operations, which, raises a crucial question for everyone listening. What does this level of augmentation mean for your work, and are you maybe confronting the potential terror of being left behind?
That 200 man-years claim.
Hmm.
It's perspective altering, isn't it? It really makes you pause. So translating this to your own career, regardless of your field, whether you're an artist, an accountant, or indeed a podcaster like us, Saylor argues that the single most productive thing you can do right now is figure out how to program AI to perform aspects of your work.
Right. Find the leverage.
He uses the specific example of a podcaster. Imagine using AI to take your podcast feed and instantly translate it into 100 different languages, or to handle all the marketing, summarizing, selling, and redistributing of your content across every possible channel, automatically. He then poses the ultimate, almost existential question for every profession. Will the AI eat what I'm doing? It's a challenge to reevaluate your unique value proposition, basically.
And that probing question leads directly to the bigger picture of future-proofing your skills and your business. Saylor envisions an inevitable future where cars are going to drive themselves, the robots are going to do the work, that kind of thing. And companies will unleash things that do 1,000,000 times as much work as 1,000,000 times faster, 1,000,000 times smarter. Kate. So his advice is starkly practical. Before you even consider paying a person to do a task, explore whether AI can handle the work. Seriously explore it. Beyond that, his challenge is to use AI to either create entirely revolutionary new products or services, or, to infuse it into your existing offerings to make them better or smarter or faster or stronger. It's about being proactive.
That's a powerful call to action on the intelligence side. Okay, so now let's pivot to the second pillar, digital capital. For Saylor, this isn't just about any investment, it's specifically about Bitcoin, which he sees as the ultimate form of digital capital. Immutable, scarce, decentralized, and this is where he gets maybe even more controversial, especially with his ideas around leveraging debt to acquire it. He explicitly introduces the idea of using government-sponsored or subsidized loans for this purpose.
Yeah, get ready.
Now, this next point is guaranteed to spark debate as Saylor dives into truly unconventional financial strategies. He recounts how people used to mock his advice, but his core message to many was to mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin. During a period when 30-year mortgages were at like 2.75% interest, while Bitcoin was returning an average of 57% a year over 5 years.
57% a year average.
Exactly. And he calculates the stunning outcome. If you borrowed $1 million, you could make $500,000 a year with no work.
Wow. That's a striking example, and one that absolutely challenges deeply ingrained financial beliefs. Saylor's perspective in the source describes this as zero risk from his viewpoint.
Which sounds counterintuitive, to say the least.
Right. It directly contrasts with the conventional person who would prioritize diligently paying off their mortgage. That's seen as the safe, responsible thing. But the key insight here is Saylor's radical redefinition of risk itself. For him, the true risk isn't leveraging assets like Bitcoin. It's not leveraging your capital when it's stagnating in low-yield instruments, especially when inflation is eating away at its purchasing power. So, when he asks why you would invest in what he refers to as a suppressed government credit instrument, essentially traditional bonds or savings that pay, 3 or 4%, especially when Bitcoin is returning 55% or more, he's arguing that to genuinely build wealth today, you must prioritize exponential capital growth over the perceived safety of conventional low-return investments. It's about making capital work harder for you.
That's a profound reevaluation of risk and opportunity. Okay, but leveraging a personal mortgage, that might not be an option or even palatable for most people, right?
Of course. Yeah, high-risk perception for many.
So Saylor isn't short on alternative capital raising methods. He suggests that if direct personal debt isn't feasible, well, you could start a company, sell equity in that company, and then as soon as possible, sell preferred equity or even more debt, or take the company public to raise capital. The driving principle is always to find the cheapest cost of capital and the largest amount of capital to then convert into Bitcoin. He even points to Metaplanet as a live example, saying 10 people can create billions of dollars in a year, or even, provocatively, the first trillion-dollar company in Japan. It's about being incredibly aggressive and strategic in your capital acquisition.
And this is where Saylor's unique company valuation and growth strategy truly comes into sharp focus. It's quite something. He lays out a bold blueprint for existing companies, illustrating how to truly make your capital work for you. He suggests that if you have a company currently valued at $2 million, the single most lucrative thing you could do, sell half the company for $2 million, and own 50% of a company worth $4 million and invest the $2 million in Bitcoin, which will grow, he claims, 60% a year.
60% annual growth assumption on Bitcoin now.
Yeah, that's his number. And then he vividly illustrates the long-term impact. That initial $2 million growing at 60% annually doubles 5 times over a decade, leading to a stunning $32 million company in 10 years, just from that Bitcoin investment portion. This, he argues, would allow you to retire from the operational demands of the original company and potentially earn $8 million a year doing an hour of work a month, just managing the asset.
An hour of work a month for $8 million a year.
I mean, that's the claim. And placing this within Saylor's broader philosophy, this directly contrasts the conventional path of working hard, like 4,000 hours a year for 20 years running, and still not make any progress if you're not sophisticated with regard to the way you construct your finances. It's a complete inversion of the traditional work-for-wealth paradigm. It prioritizes capital accumulation and growth over just, earning income.
So to bring Saylor's core playbook together for you, our listener, this decade, according to him, truly pivots on 2 accelerating forces: digital intelligence, AI, and digital capital, primarily Bitcoin. His message seems clear. Integrate AI into every aspect of your work and become deeply sophisticated with your financial construction, especially leveraging digital assets. These, he argues, are the keys to unparalleled success and, well, freedom.
And that's precisely where Saylor identifies the greatest leverage. Not just in understanding these forces, but in intelligently combining them. It's a radical reframing of how to build wealth and achieve freedom in the modern age. Moving beyond just working hard to working smart, using the most powerful tools and capital available today as he sees them. So this leaves us with a provocative question for you to chew on. Consider this. If the future of work and wealth truly hinges on leveraging AI to multiply your effort and digital capital to multiply your resources, what conventional belief about success or security might you now be willing to challenge or reevaluate? How might questioning just that one belief unlock entirely new possibilities for you?